everyone, welcome. It's Evelyn. I have a bit of information for you today. Some really lovely energies were coming up today. Today's the 30th of May 2022. It's 11:52 on the clock, which is actually the Queen of Swords. 52 and then 11 is Justice. That could be Libra energy too, as the Queen of Swords. And I'm going to roll the die. We have the big read on the table, as you can see, my 7-deck read. I also have a few Nature Whispers reads for you, as well as Message of the Day. And I'm going to try to get some of the signs done today. I did Gemini already, so we'll go on to Cancer and Leo. Hopefully I'll get 3 signs done today, but we'll see. I didn't come up yesterday because I didn't sleep the day before. And so, and I had to get some grocery shopping done, things like that. So catching up today, but these are energies from throughout the weekend and this morning as well. I'm going to start with the Nature Whispers from this morning because there's very significant energies. It was so cool how it was matching the energies that I was experiencing this morning. And we're going to roll the die as well. Let's first take a few deep breaths. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can always just skip by here and move on. In another minute from the video. So let's go ahead and take those 3 deep breaths. You might want to invoke that white light through your crown for that deep purification. Wrap it around your heart. You can call in any light actually that you want. If you want to use green for physical healing or more yellow and gold for compassion, whatever you feel inspired to, bring it in and wrap it around your heart, and then allow it to just diffuse slowly out through your chest and your limbs, your arms and your legs, out through your head and your ears, your auric layers, and then out as far as you'd like it to. Or you can direct it towards a certain person or a certain place in the world, wherever you'd like to. So let's go ahead and take those few deep breaths. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you all. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's beautiful and sunny out here today. Mother, Father, Christ, Sophia, Imana, Creator, please arm us all with your love. Let's go ahead and roll the die. See what comes up for the twins today. So again, today is May 30th, 2022. And we have the new moon coming up. I think it's tomorrow. It actually came up, let's see here. No, I'm sorry, actually the new moon was today. 7:30 a.m. my time was the new moon, so today is actually the new moon. And we're already past the peak of that, so we're into that new moon energy. Let's roll the die for the twins. It's 11:55 on the clock now. Justice and Truth, as it turned to 56, being your knowing. We have Leo coming up here, so again, the child, being the child at heart. We have Mars also coming up here, calling for action perhaps. There could be some aggression there as well, with Scorpio and Leo, both being fixed signs. And then we have the 12 of the Hanged Man, which can be Pisces. For me, it's more Capricorn, of that December energy, which December also brings up Sagittarius. That wisdom energy of the Hanging Man. With the energies of the mutables and the fixed, along with Capricorn, which is the cardinal energy kind of running the show there with Saturn. But we have Mars as the lead planet coming up here of action. And we're in Gemini right now. So let's see how that all affects Gemini, which is one of the mutable signs, and the twins. And the new moon today of the 30, which is the union, the 4 of Wands, and the day adding up to the Ace of Cups, which is that self-love, spiritual love, new love energy, or just offering your love to all. So I'm going to do this Nature Whispers read first. I want to preface that by when I went out to water my flowers this morning, I found out that the rose bush that I just planted up near my front steps, all of the flowers had been either eaten off or cut off last night at some time, because they were definitely there yesterday. And I took a picture. There was still, I thought there was only one bud left, but there's actually 3. So here's the picture of the plant, and you see that there's still a bud right here, and right here, but the big ones were all taken off that I actually showed you the other day. I assume it was the deer across the street. I don't think somebody cut the roses off, but that energy came up. And I'm going to bring up some other energy regarding my yard today, because the cards that came up for the read this morning, it's unbelievable how they match the situations that are going on. It just kind of blows my mind sometimes still. So let me just get to where I'm supposed to be. Okay. So we have those energies here. And let's see how they play out. I'm going to show you the picture of this read. So here's my Nature's Whispers read that I pulled this morning. This is the underlying card on the bottom of the deck. And then I pulled out this section first, was the main section, and then these 3 afterward came out separately from those. Okay. I don't know how well you can see the beautiful colors in these cards, because they're just, it looks a little bit bluish, but so you can see the clarity of them up close. They're really beautiful cards. There's so much detail in them, so much story in them, okay? But you can see they're all about the tree today, right? So whereas they were coming up about the woman in the previous reads that I recently did, today it was all about the tree. And I have this one big tree in my front yard. I'm going to tell you just a little story really quickly about that tree. There's a funny story. So the way the tree looks, I always thought it looked like my mom, because when we were young kids, my mom got pissed off at my dad and she threw her clog at him. And my dad came rushing back down the steps and like kind of tackled my mom in the foyer downstairs to, you know, to get her under control, because she had a bad temper and she would get like this sometimes. But us little kids, we were all right there, and she was in her nightgown and she didn't have any underwear on. So this tree in my front yard literally reminds me of when my mom's legs were up in the air at this moment. So I just kind of make a joke about that. It's a pretty funny story, actually. So this tree always reminds me of my mom, because that's that position there, which is also the birthing position. And that message was coming up very strongly this morning. So I wanted to preface that so you understood where I was going as I go through the read. So at 9:42 is when I cut the deck. 9 is the Hermit, 42 is the 2 of Cups. The underlying energy was the card of catching your breath after opening your heart, which was the number 10, which is destined, of the lady and the swan coming together. So it was like the 2 swans, except one was the human, one was the actual swan. So bringing their differences together. The little girl in this underlying energy is hugging a tree, but looking concerned. It's not a playful energy. It's her trying to get grounded with this tree, or hugging their mother with acorns and butterflies or moths, that very brown and green earthy energy, as opposed to the rainbow energy. It's very earthy here and very human. So the first card out was Show Your Support, which is number 40 of the Page of Cups, that pure innocent energy of the child. Show your support to the flowers, as the rose bush who had its blossoms taken off, right? So I have to show you the picture of these cards as I go, because I'm just telling you the story of what I experienced this morning. And the cards were all playing out literally the story. So here's that underlying energy of the little girl hugging the tree, right? Concerned. It's kind of like hugging that mother for security. and the 15 of the shadow side, right? That codependency on the mother to protect them, and catching your breath. And this is that swan woman picture of opening your heart. You know, very beautiful energy there of hugging each other. Okay, and then the mother missing her. And this is like the romantic relationship here. And then here's a child missing their mother. So that can be a message, you know, take it any which way it comes to you, because that's the way it's supposed to come to you. So it could be something different for you and your children. But so, the first card that came out here is show your support. I'm going to try to get it really clear so you can see the details of these pictures. Okay, so look how beautiful the colors are. But you see those blossoms? Even though it's showing it on a tree there, this is literally what my rose looked like. They were so open like this, and they were all different colors. One was coming up as this whitish yellow, and then another one was more pink. And then the ones that hadn't blossomed quite as much had more orangey colors in them. It was really beautiful the way these roses were coming up. But these were the roses that were taken off my bush. And you see these little birdies over here watching her, looking at the flowers that had been taken off. And there's somebody rowing in the pond in the back. But it's that connection of everyone to nature. So, show your support to the flowers. And as soon as I got the show your support card, I went back out to those baby buds of the rose bush to give them some nurturing and a little bit more water to support those babies of the flower that their parents had gone, and now, you know, they need support from somewhere else as the birds watch. And that person in the canoe on the water or pond, and the little fairy saying to imagine the roses back to life, like pruning accelerates growth. The 40 of the Page of Cups is that vulnerable child needing your support. And just as I went out to give love, I only thought there was one bud at the time, so just when I went out to give some love to that one remaining bud, I actually saw the 3. So, and who is spying from the water along with the birds. As the birds were, I noticed the birds because as soon as I walked out the door, a bird literally flew right by my head, which never happens because they don't usually come that close to you on my way out the door. So then we have the 13 card of the Renewal of Peace, which is this one with the sweet little baby. Now I want to look at that tree, and I want to show you something. All right, so look at this tree and look how the roots cross right here and cradling the little baby in the nook right here. Look how they're crossing, right? This one on the left is over the one on the right. And I'm going to show you the picture of my tree out front that I say is like my mom. And this is the two pieces coming together. So actually, I'm sorry, this is the 2 inner ones, all right? So I was telling you this one, but it matches exactly here. So this one goes in underneath, and this one goes in front, where the little baby is in the nook of the tree, which is my mother, you know, kind of giving me for my message, that message of me being that little baby who came out of her, right? Because I always see this, and my mother has a good sense of humor about that stuff too. So I just want you to see how exactly the messages come out and reflect the pictures of exactly what I was seeing this morning. So the Renewal of Peace and Transition with the 13 of the little baby, and the Page of Cups in Transition card has been coming up a whole lot this past week or two, as the little baby is nestled at the root of the tree with their little wings like filigree bookends or delicate scrolled ironwork. The naked little butt up in the air, which is actually when I brought my son home from the hospital, who was my firstborn. He was constipated as soon as he was born, and I had to literally put him in his playpen when I got home without a diaper and prop him up so his butt was up in the air. So it was literally the same position. And then along with the animals around this little child, the frog and the squirrel and the chipmunk, the bird, the possum perhaps, and the snail, looking on at the baby, like protecting them. And the irises as well, that were wilting, but sending their love as well as the dried leaves on the ground. So not only is that tree exactly like my tree, But look at the iris type flowers here wilting towards the tree. And this yesterday, I took a picture of my irises in the garden that faced that same direction from the tree. But this specific iris was down here towards the tree because there was a big rainstorm and it had kind of like killed the irises. They were all kind of pushed forward. So I actually put this flower back up because it had bent over towards the tree. So literally, this picture was reenacting exactly my garden and my tree coming together here. So crazy, right? So so this little baby, it's kind of like that, you know, Snow White type of energy where all of the forest animals are coming to take care of the baby. And the iris is wilting but sending their love, as well as the dried leaves on the ground, because there was a few leaves left that were still falling from the tree. The picture where the baby lay crossed exactly like my mother, her sweet little baby at that age that she loved so much. And the one thing about my mother, she wanted 12 children because she loves infants, right? Because they don't move, they don't give her any problem. She didn't mind the crying. She loved infants. It's just when they started growing and doing things where she had more of an issue with it and frustration with it. She had a very intelligent mind, which a lot of times, you know, a genius has trouble dealing with how to nurture and love children. So that was coming up. Showing support to the child in transition, whether it's your child, your flowers, your birds, etc. And the culmination of that vision, which is coming up as number 35, which is the wounded warrior. And here's the picture of that. Very much the energy of the mother in that very earthy human energy with two women below her, which actually I have a sister, so me and my sister here. But you also see these shadow faces, these profiles here in the negative space there. Were coming up because not only is my mother coming up to recognize me and my sister and the multiple generations here, as my daughter's actually coming home soon, but in this tree, I sat and had pictures taken with my dad and my daughter right here. So they're showing these faces of the past coming back and my mother bringing all this up. So the culmination of vision, the 35, is that wounded warrior and the surrender that's needed. The wounded warrior, earthy tree, whose daughters sit beneath her together looking down the hill, pleases her. Where, like I said, I sat with my dad and my daughter wants to take pictures in that tree. Our faces in the shadow, and the tree who has seen 3 generations of women, my mother, myself, and my daughter. And that energy of natural women, my mother was very natural, authentic to themselves, right? She always was herself. Even though she had a bad temper, she also had wonderful qualities as well. And she never let someone else tell her who to be. Certainly not after she was young anyway. And again, with a curl in their hair, referencing the curly hair that we have. My daughter's hair is not as curly, but my mother's hair was really curly. Mine's not as curly as hers, and then my daughter's isn't as curly as mine. But that 3 generations of girls is coming up here. Bringing the baby back to roost, and the potential gateway here of the number 50, which is that the ultimate emotional fulfillment of the 10 of Cups. And so here was this card, which then brings in some more color there, and you see kind of like that borealis color at the roots of the tree, and this portal here that the tree knows, right? They go deep down and connect to the earth, and the potential gateway that is here regarding those multiple generations that you are. So the emotional fulfillment here with that card as tiny horses and dogs, or perhaps deer and foxes or unicorn and people all lay at the roots of this tree. The tree planted, and notice it's number 50. Well, this house was built in the 50s when this tree would have been planted on this house. So it's coming up as the year the tree was born in the 50s with the family before me, because there's only one other family prior to me in this house. At 1022, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 22 of the Fool's Journey, and then the 14 of the assurance that there is a fourth as the 4 seasons and patience and a higher love. the 4 different kinds at the same time. The white, the brown, the green, and the light that they bring, you know, in the generations to come, right? The future generations to come. And this represents the 4 seasons of the, you know, the winter and the fall and the spring and the summer. And the number 14, which is the temperance card of the angels and the patience and balance, and taking that step off the beaten path to be more natural in your bare feet and go slowly and balanced. The assurance that there is this 4th as the 4 seasons, just as sure as there are 4 seasons every year and 4 different kinds. The 26th then is being true to your heart. And this card came up for me yesterday, the day before as well. And the 26th is the Page of Wands, of that inspiration. And how much light is coming into her face in this picture. And that is kind of like my crazy blonde hair when it's unruly there. So it's really funny how exactly the message was coming up for me here. But this was you know, the messages are coming up for everyone, so take it as it comes to you. Be true to your heart, as the Page of Wands is inspired when the Page of Cups transitions and surrenders to happiness and patience. The Page of Wands arrives, browns and blondes and light blues and roses, with calla lilies and megaphones, as I just ordered a new cell phone because I'm finally getting with the program. I still have my daughter's old, her old 6S or something. So I just had to upgrade my phone because my phone I wouldn't be able to use it, I don't think, by next month or so. So calla lilies and megaphones coming up as 2 ships meet near the shoreline. Peacock eyes against natural skin, and blonde curls, the bluebird of happiness at her heart, predestined to come. In the conch shell used in the clarion call at 10:31, destiny of the chaos of life, of the sun's light that then needs to be transmuted into an energy that can be handled, right? Transmuting it into something more practical. And also group energy of conflict, but also the pursuit of happiness. In the conch shell used in the clarion call. The brown and pale blues of the moth with peacock eyes and rosy cheeks. The scalloped Magdalena treat. The magnetic line, simple and natural on the outside, but watch out for those potent rainbow colors within, powering up the crystals and the cases of Ol. And for some reason, right when I said the cases of Ol, these old cases that I received from my mother's father when they passed, you know, like an old a silver cigarette case, but it had his initials on it. And I never bring up my mom's dad, Papuli, who was a pediatrician, which then brought up my kid's pediatrician, which I actually tried to contact recently after many years, who I haven't heard back from. But it's kind of like prompting me to reach out to her again. So it's a lot about the pediatrician and those who take care of our little ones. But my mom's mom, we called her Yaya, not because they were Greek, but because they had Greek patients and they just liked Yaya and Papuli better than what they would have been called. So my grandmother Yaya and megaphones coming up as I'm getting my new phone, but also her making a shout out to me, because when I went to a group meditation with my next door neighbor, like, I don't know, 30 years ago probably, where I told you this before. There were like 5 Evelyns in this group of 15 people, including the person channeling who channeled for an hour and a half straight, right, without taking a breath. So, and I saw her yellow aura around her head the whole time she was channeling. But in that channeling for the group, she'd say, you know, the spirits come through to give us a message. That was the main message for an hour and a half. But then she says she allows 3 people to ask the angels a question. And I got to be one of those 3 people. And I guess I asked to see Yaya. And Yaya came through just like her personality, like she's a militant do-gooder, banging on doors to make sure people volunteered to do things. And she was a doctor born in 1898. But in that message she said to me, I cried instantly as soon as she came through, because you understand her energy. And then she said she wanted to make sure I knew I was lovable. right? Because I struggled a lot when I was young about that, especially with the heavy hand of my mother and having a lot of issues with the way I looked compared to other people. And then the Ho'oponopono was coming up. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. So it's literally, she wanted me to remember too, when my grandmother died, she died of bladder cancer and she had mets to her liver. And I told you this once before where I didn't have anything to bring. I wasn't home at Christmas, and usually we'd take a Christmas photo together. And I had taken, you know how in college you get these really cheap photo packages done, so I'd gotten one done at the beginning of the year. So I brought a photo of me for her because I had nothing else to give her and I didn't have any money to buy her something. And of course, and again, she was on her deathbed. So I brought her this picture, and the only thing she had to say to me was, don't be vain, which is not her normal personality. And it certainly wasn't my purpose, right? I was just a young kid not knowing what to do in a death situation. But it was something that hurt my feelings when she said that, because that was basically the last thing she had to say to me. But she was normally a very sweet, kind person. She had always been kind to me. So here she is coming back saying that, I love you, I'm sorry, it's making me cry. Please forgive me and thank you. She who gave birth to my mother, who wasn't a very affectionate person, but always kind, except on her deathbed, like I said, with a weakened liver from bladder cancer, which then triggered her anger, right? Because the liver is all about anger regarding vanity that she had experienced in her life. Because again, she was a very practical person. She was a doctor and she was an intellectual. She wasn't, what you'd normally think of as a very feminine woman. So the second section of cards that came up here were first the number 31, again, of chaos, which is that 5 of Wands. But again, it's that energy of chaos of the sun, right, of life, that being birthed is chaotic, right? But then you're able to get things under control for that child and wrap it up and bundle it up and hold it so it feels safe again. To be spontaneous at the tree and the irises as they reach out to each other at night in the orange moon, which actually the eclipse moon was a very orangey color. Normally that would come up as the hunter's moon in October, but I'm getting here, it's relating this eclipse moon, the orange color of it, to the October moon. And the dying grass and the travel moon, it's also called in October, the blood moon or sanguine. But again, with the lunar eclipse, it's time to prepare for the colder weather when that comes up in October, and the fields without crops. So there's a message there. Perhaps we might get some unusually cold weather this summer as well. And again, from some angelicalbalance.com, they were bringing up the 9 signs of the of this October moon, or the orange moon actually. And the orange moon is, according to her 9 things, was the universe is watching to avoid distractions. Too many negative energies are around you, which is interesting too, because I just ordered some more of those patches for your phone and your computers for the EMF waves. Also connecting to your sacral chakra and golden opportunities, maybe presenting themselves to you. Be careful of your thoughts. There may be some high energy or intensity here, and desires are coming to pass. Still have time, and things are not what they seem, which is teaching you discernment, that the new season is approaching and there's divine timing here. So those were the messages coming up. And also it said dim orange light, which is funny too, because I ordered dim yesterday, because that was something recommended on a medical video that I was watching. So you can look up dim if you want, D-I-M. So this is the card, which is very much of the night and the orange moon, of being spontaneous with the 31. And then again, here's that, they're not irises in the picture necessarily, but this is that iris energy reaching out to my tree again, as I'm losing my voice a little bit. They want me to point out the activation of the antenna here, and the little one has them too. So what came up from the websites, the solar system at nasa.gov, the June moon. So by June 14th, 22, which is the next full moon, The morning twilight begins at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 4 or 5 visible planets will appear in a line above the east-southeast horizon, with Saturn to the upper right 35 degrees, Jupiter 29 degrees, Mars 25 degrees, and Venus lower left at 6 degrees. And about 6 minutes later, Mercury will rise, nearly as bright as Mars and Saturn, as all 5 planets in the lower left to upper right line, in order of their distance from the Sun, at this full moon will appear 83 degrees above the north-northwest horizon. Also, the summer triangle will be in the sky overhead, with the bright star Deneb appearing closest to that 83 degrees above the north-northwest horizon. Deneb is 20 times greater than, as far as massive, greater than our Sun, but has used up its hydrogen and has expanded to a blue-white supergiant with diameter greater than 200 times our Sun. So if Deneb was in the place of our Sun, it would actually reach out almost to the Earth, or at least into our atmosphere. At 2,600 light years away from Earth and 19th brightest star in the sky, on May 30th, which is today at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, is the new moon. Tomorrow, June 1st, is the first morning that Mercury begins emerging from that glow of the dawn. So east-northeast, 30 minutes before sunrise, and then all 5 visible at the same time from June 1st going through to the 14th, like I said, but I think they align on the 14th. Again, at 9:14 p.m. on the 1st, the moon is at apogee, which is farthest from the Earth, as in all year in the cycle. On June 2nd, Pollux is the brighter of the twin stars in Gemini, appears 4 degrees above the waxing crescent moon. Pollux, P-O-L-L-U-X. And then June 5th to the 6th, Regulus appears 6 degrees on the lower left of the moon. On June 9th to the 10th, Spica shows up at 7 degrees lower left of the moon. And June 12th to 13th, Antares comes up 8 degrees lower left of the moon, and then goes to the right at night. On June 13th to the 14th, which I brought up already, the 14th, Washington, D.C. is the earliest sunrise of the year. At NASA, they said, again, the 4:30 Eastern Daylight Time at NASA is twilight, with sunrise at 5:42:11, going from the 13th to the 14th. And then on the 14th is that full moon at 7:52 Eastern Daylight Time, which is considered the strawberry, rose, hot, or mead moon. So with that 31 card and being spontaneous after the lunar eclipse, the trees reach out to the flowers without interference from the moon during that eclipse energy, with their antenna up and activated, as the 27 card comes up of the mountain, or not the mountain, but maintaining your childlike spirit and that inspiration here. And here she is just swinging in the middle of the woods, and there's really not much else going on in the picture other than her swinging in the middle of the woods. And perhaps the light shining through there at the end of the woods, right? Like seeing through the woods to the trees, or seeing through the trees to the woods. But there's also a little bit of frost here on the ground. So again, like I said, there might be some unusually cold weather that comes up. So swinging in the forest, even when you're all alone, being childlike as the fairies are watching and playing along, with the sun peeking through the trees and the tree networking above to create a natural ceiling, a home, a safe space. Perhaps at dawn, when there's still some icy dew on the ground, the trees call out all that they are from the dawn to dusk, as well as at night, not just the way we see them during the day as we pass by walking. Then we have the 3 card of celebrate your differences in the northern lights of the riding unicorn and swans. So here's that 3 card. If I can get that a little bit better. Okay. So celebrate your differences in the northern lights of the riding unicorn and swans swirling up to meet with the riding dolphins and the fish, where the land meets the sea, meets the sky, meets the I am presence. the city on the beach near the mountains by the sea, and the phi swirl of the Fibonacci sequence in the shells, which is coming up here, the conch shell, and or the snail shell, and cradling the little ones as the fish fly and the birds dive. The water curls up and the land stands strong as Atlas, a guide for emotions that are lashing out at them from the waves. They just step back. They don't make a big deal out of it. The trees are like your mother saying, "Go out and play, children. Just be back soon. I'll miss you." The heart of the tree is connected to the whole earth through their roots. As the antenna roots travel far and wide and communicate with each other underground at 11:28, which is November. I don't know why November just came up, but 11 is November. So again, the October-November energy is coming up of the cold. And also pay attention to the trees because they know what's coming and going across the earth because they communicate through their roots. And 11/28 is November, but also the alignment of justice and the 28 of the twin flames and that choice of path. So again, they're giving you messages to follow. So pay attention to what your trees are doing and what they may be trying to tell you. So that was the message from today. So I'm going to go back to the message of the day. All right. And today's Monday. So this message of the day, let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So this is my 4-deck read message of the day. Oops, sorry about that. And these are the underlying energies, the 4 decks. And we have the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook deck here. It's more of an oracle deck. And then we have the LENORMAND Reverie, the Gilded, and then the KIPPER deck here. So these are the underlying energies. This is the first section, second, third, and fourth down here. Okay. And so this was done at 1:07 a.m. on the 28th. And the underlying energy was the tarantula, the die, the roll of the die, the 5 of Swords upright, which is that energy of the war within, and the sudden wealth card. So, and then at 1:11 I started processing this, the crossroads of the Knight of Cups taking a risk to be victorious in aligning with hitting the jackpot of 777s. The elephant with flame in their trunk, the eagle diving into the spider web, which came up as like the flying trapeze catcher, the catchment, which that's so weird too. I just bought a catchment for water. So it's again, the eagle diving into the spider web without that tightrope, unafraid to open the crown and help the collective awaken. Then the letters that were coming up from the unknown, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook coming up, the letters from those cards were coming up regarding some personal messages for me, but also the name Scott was coming up, as well as the mice and Cos, which was my dad's nickname, and my initials were coming up, ES. But and the with the cosmos and the mice and the tarantula coming up here was coming up as a ran to you. Like and now I'm getting Whitney Houston. I wanna run to you. That's coming up, and then LA was coming up as well. The eagle, and then ES coming up, or the EA glee, and SCO is coming up, which means shoes or to be. So it's coming up as 2 shoes or to be here on Tara, to take care, goodbye, the road, the defect, the earth and ground, to touch, take hold of, to follow and succeed, to come after the number 9, to collect and gather and add up and welcome to go meet, to buy and resell and be fine, be mindful, caring and equal, comparable and picture, The thorn, the fence, the garden, and the anus, the big, the large, the washboard, and obsession, the desire and star, and let's go, the wedding gift, given to equal, the gift given by the other side to the newlyweds, and the horn as well as the grain, a place to store it, mindful and filled, the earth weighing down. And I'm getting a certain kind of pill. So the L was coming up, as well as extrasensory perception, emotional attachments, and glee, and spying or Spica may be coming up, since that came up as far as the constellations came up, causing the star ant, LA, or someone going to LA, which is interesting because that's come up for us. So however this comes to you, that's the way you should take it. The star ant. So that can reference your aunt, who may be the star of the show, or perhaps Antares is coming up, and Spica. So again, there's a reason I brought those constellations up and the stars of the triangle. The star ant, so maybe Antares, is coming up as the place of resort. The mausoleum, the tomb, the snake, and to howl like a wolf. The owl, the lobster, and the crayfish all think they're wolves. The throat, and to pulverize, a kind of fish dog. And the FM band wave. Maybe there's some weird strains of animals that are going to show up out of nowhere for weird reasons. But maybe a fruit, also hybrid fruits. Upper red and sacredness. Regal, royal blood. As the EES cosmic path. A run to LA, or a ran to LA, and that can be Louisiana as well, or wherever LA, whatever that means for you. And Iran can be coming up here too, to LA. Iran, plum, stable, name, day, bread, likelihood, and sustenance, velvet. And big eels were coming up here too, as well as the idler, the penis, the poem, or the way the poem is presented. A kind of mouth disease as well, especially among children, also coming up here. And Into the Wind came up as far as movies. And pianos were coming up too, like Steinway and Bechstein piano, I think it was in the movie, as well as Lili was coming up here. So at 150, which is the one of the Magician and the 50 of emotional fulfillment, or the happy family here, hopefully happy, came Lili, L-E-L-E, to be asleep. Indeed could also be coming up, of course. Very, to fly. A beetle, catfish, to jump and leap, to hop, skip, swing, bounce, burst forth, to rush out, dismount, disembark, or to attack and move. Also P and spy coming up as companies and corporations and their connections on earth to fill, or to Christ consciousness, the idler, to cite poetry here. The elephant clears the ground as the eagle swoops in, to trigger the spider, to get the net ready for the collective to fall side by side as the scorpion jump starts, the tarantula at the intersection to get them going again. At 157, the Magician and the Three of Swords. The power lady with the truth and gifts to offer help in chaotic situations. The romantic pup looking for a family. Cancer with 10 of Cups and pushy mama, or Capricorn and Cancer, or Cancer and Capricorn with the weight of the world. Again, the mother and father energies there of power structures exposed to find peace day and night, in chaos and in the shadows, as the Page of Swords hermit with flowers and gifts, with Leo, Cancer, pup, and mom bringing structure and gifts to hermit or Virgo, and the Knight of Cups taking a risk a roll of the die, and I was just getting Lady Die there as well, finding peace, coming out with no escape from the Two of Cups connection, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the men at work, the inequity of giving too much, of the twin flames and the new path. There has to be a better way, with the Knight of Wands reversed, or Saggy, falling short, and walking the dog, or Leo triumphing over the field. Hard-working Queen of Cups, and the man with some thoughts of a woman, or on how he could use her, as judge and jury, adjudicating home or union, the man in control of other people's destinies, the main female high priestess aligning with sudden wealth at 777 or hitting the jackpot, or with her, he's seeing himself as hitting the jackpot. So there's that ching-ching energy kind of coming up at 207, which is the high priestess in the chariot, taking a risk of the Knight of Cups to stand fully in their truth, to align with abundance. So the first section here is the swans, scared of the truth, if the whale is tired of the golden child. So will the twins come together if the tired old whale is now tired of the golden child and all their antics? The swan's sudden love as the sovereign receives or sends a message of concern of a higher love. And honey bunny in spiritual union, inspired by loving nature, woman or a mother here, and the throat chakra, and the abundant energetic exchange with the King of Swords upright and the King of Wands to the courthouse, or perhaps filing papers together. The whale in need of their lifeline, right, because they're running out of steam, or abundant ship to come in, the raptor bird, which is the eagle, or fleets of sails to end pain or offer bliss, perhaps working late, destined to journey, or missed their train, working late. The Page of Cups may be vulnerable in multiple ways here, dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments, in finding the one, the shadow lovers, and their own sovereignty, as the King of Swords passion and working late to let go of confusion, perhaps to distract themselves. The patient with concerns and mature woman to the courthouse with the King of Wands, or all paperwork is done and getting on the train to go to see their lover, or Sagittarius and Gemini here, Libra and Capricorn as well. At 221 is Scorpio, Taurus, Pisces maybe here as well. And then at 222 is the second section of the crocodile, the lion, the dragon, and the tiger. The crocodile with their eye on the golden egg, while the lion faces the other way, so not paying attention to the crocodile. So the lion faces the other way to see the tiger, who means business here, or third eye between the lion and tiger, which is that tie-on energy of the tiger masculine energy combined with the lioness, the tie-on, T-I-O-N, or each with their reptilian side, right? They each have their positive human side and their reptilian side within as well. The crocodile fox taking a second look before leaving the country. The Sagittarius wounded warrior looking for a higher love and fighting to get out of a marriage or to get into one. The lion and the loving man, the twin flames looking back at the King of Cups, who may be in unconditional love or a water sign there, but impoverished with time, or at the King of Cups child being the man of the family. So this could be a masculine child who ended up being the man of the family and so ended up taking care of too many people, or the dragon with their eye on Atlas, the burden, and the cross to bear. After lions and tigers are here, right, we need bears. The Empress reversed may be dishonored, and the Knight of Wands reversed falling short of expectations in a divorce. That can be the player energy as well. The tigers approaching the wise group of birds, and the wounded warrior surrendering to the hermit, to hermit the changes. Or Sagittarius with Pisces to Virgo for the changes. And then at 229, which is the High Priestess and the Three of Wands, is Taurus reversed with lions and tigers, that tie-on energy, and bears, oh my, which may be coming up as the Taurus. And then the Empress reversed with the King of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, all really negative energies there unless they're grieving something or sad about something. And the Hermit here is up for change. The third section here is the star, the phoenix, the bat, and the raccoon, where the star falls and then rises as the phoenix, but then the bat gets lost in space as the raccoon is sad in the dark with their mask, with no appetite for trash anymore, after losing their way. The star, king of wands, perhaps with their rugrats, their pests, or their big messes to clean up, to stand up for themselves and light the torch as the knight of cups for the community supporting. The phoenix with more potent changes, like snakes and scorpions and toxins, oh my, or rising on the road, warding off bites and apples left out, and sudden events, or epiphanies, or sexual exchange, as the page of wands is excited and inspired to great abundance, with Cancer, Scorpio, and fire signs here. The bat got lost in the family tree, or crashed there after losing their way, coming out with good news and leading the way with dream gift to present. Perhaps the king of wands to the page of wands, perhaps after licking Cancer. The raccoon with the key to get out, but will they use it? You cannot free one who holds on to their chains. And that comes up from Elena Denon and Thorhan, her Pleiadian connection. The page of wands reverse is inspired by unexpected income or incoming guest, with Taurus and Aquarius here as well. The fourth section is the vulture, the hyena, and the kids table. Perhaps they're at the kids table. The vulture's coming up with 8 and 8, again the two twins dancing side by side, and a journey of romance and public judgment, of going away and a wake-up call to release the anxiety and imprisonment. Mid-moon, June, and Cancer season, through 8-8, Lionsgate coming up here, which is usually that kind of graduation period. At 2:45, the High Priestess and the grieving period, and then the energy of all of the fire gates coming up. The Ram gates of 4-4 is the kickoff. The Lion's Roar, 8-8, helps you keep going. It's like that big push because they're a fixed sign. To the Tiger Saggy gate, the Centaur gate, the gate of champions is coming up because it's like the final gate at the end of the year. That 12/21 portal energy. The vulture, romantic and blue, with new information about the false person, about the masks, or the tango between the man and a woman. The hyena slinking away, released in public judgment or freed by a wake-up call to nature's beauty, of the Queen of Cups reversed and the mature man with atlas or maps. Masked power lady and the free mature man, official with house, or guard at the big house, or officially on the fool's journey, or making it official. Judgment, big house, wake-up call to gated community, or being sworn in, or old man and their daughter with quite a reputation. Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus, Aries here, and water, perhaps official in public eye, embarrassed by daughter, or perhaps maybe he's embarrassed by her, maybe she's embarrassed by him, or perhaps he showed her at 2:53, the High Priestess and the Knight of Swords. So next I have my Nature's Whisper read from the 28th, and that's this one here. So I used both the Nature's Whispers deck, but also the Good Tarot below. So this is the Nature's Whispers, underlying energy, and the way the cards came out, these two kind of separately and then these two together. And then this is the Good Tarot with these three coming out and then these two. Okay. So this was at 6:38 to 39, which is the Lovers and the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups energy. Very beautiful. The underlying energy was seeking beauty with 44, which is that grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love. And also 11 candles were coming up in that picture. And also assurance was coming up in the underlying energy of 14. The 4 seasons of the 4 women in the tree of balance and patience. So the first card that came out was Illumination, which is number 2 of the High Priestess. And the second card out was the Big Picture, number 6, which is the Lovers. So at 6:44, which is the Lovers, and that it can be boredom and apathy, but grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love. After Patience and Balance with the 4 Seasons. The 14 of Seeing the Beauty of the 44, the grounding, integrating, and mastering, and the receiving of love. The 11 Candles in a river that runs through an archway in the village, like Disney, Venice, or the Venetian casino. The rainbow water, like the borealis lights. She in costume, ready to blow out her candles. And it's very much like costume, like, you know, like a bathing cap, but made of flowers. As the deer or buck with growth on their antlers reaches up to get her attention, perhaps reaching out up to get a kiss. At 6:51, the Lovers and the King of Swords. Perhaps eating lunch outside today. As the second card is the High Priestess girl. The tattooed butterflies with butterfly drapings, holding her friend, the butterfly with beautiful pastel gossamer wings, like sections of her dress, and their multicolored hair to match. Heading towards the moon, perhaps, with an aura and red reflection from the northeast. So again, there's that orangey moon from the full moon, but it's coming up again here as an aura and red reflection from the northeast with the clouds below, with faces talking about her, being noticed. She knows its secrets, the illumination, while her friend sees the big picture. The Lovers growing flowers in a globe with rainbow magic only she knows. As her curly blonde hair sparkles with angel dust, and lilac or lavender and pink periwinkle wings, both out in space, but she in the ethers with no clouds below. They're showing as she blows out her candles, they're getting to work immediately on her wishes. So as she's making her birthday wish, it's like saying your angels and the etheric energies like immediately are getting to work to make it come true. And then using her intention, her intuition, it kicks in as her headdress transforms all of a sudden from more dull colors to bright colors, knowing the life force required to manifest these things. She sinks into the water more in order to relax and sit back as the animals gather to help her to dawn to her light. I'm also getting the drowning to her light, to go into the emotions fully. It's like going under the water or in the sauna to connect more to your intuition. And then when she's done soaking, with naturally brown robe, she gets out with the headdress removed, a more natural wrap for her flowing long hair, allowing things to happen naturally as her wishes begin to manifest in a glowing yellow sphere with rays of rainbow. With rays of rainbow, but like the sun. And in those rays, visions of sugar plum fairies dancing in her head, music being played, and working with costumes, with kites and birds flying, and the family yet to come here. And with the kite, I was definitely getting, electricity energy there as well at 7:15. Which is July 15th, but also the Cancer energy and the 15 of Capricorn, or the devil, the shadow side of things. And that's literally July 15th, which is also Cancer going into Leo. But right before that is coming up as this shadow time of the year, right? Because it's like beginning a new year at July 23rd. And then July 22nd is that Mary Magdalene Day. So July 16th, which is then the Chariot and the Tower, she looks into it. She looks into this sphere like a magical crystal ball to heighten her vitality, again, using her imagination and self-satisfaction. And the sun just lit up as I wrote this down. And then the little chariot that she is, as a little girl, about 5 or 6, with sweet, delicate wings and a dress of silver and lilacs and ruffles and lace, steps into the pond and causing ripples in her wake, seeing the effect that she makes and amplifying her positive emotions. And as she went forward, she became younger and younger, yet towering over the city structures and the tree trunks about to speak to her, so delighted that she decided to join those old wise ones in her ripple effect. Hey, over here. We haven't had any movement in a while, so they're very excited to see her. So one present or a gift, and two looking back at her to create. Looking back but up and down, and then three hers moving forward to find that youthful emotion. After bored and blowing out candles, with secret that she holds for illumination in the big picture of love and family included, and then letting go of the burdens to just be happy with self in the calm before the storm, and boldly jumping in at 7:27, the Chariot and that inspiration of the Ace of Wands, that third flame. Fast forward and freeze frame for pictures and flights of fancy here. At 7:28 to 29, from the twins to being present in the moment in the gifts as the sun just brightened again, from the good tarot was the underlying energies of the Hierophant with patience below it and the number 14 of that higher love. The angelic and demure flapper style, leaning on and next to the starred Roman pillar, perhaps holding her heart, pushing the clock to the side, as the Hierophant takes over with no ifs, ands, or buts, commanding her presence known and displaying her teal wings at full mast, holding the crescent moon in metal, laying down with star, adoring its middle, its underbelly here. It dare not disobey her energy flow, framed by the gong sun, and the tools on the lime stool podium, the candle and quill chalice and potion, perhaps perfume. So it's lining up her tools, but her tools may differ from the masculine type of tools. It's again an energy of her fun and masculine sides. Her feminine and masculine sides coming up here. Again, the 8 and 5 energies coming up together, which is that greased lightning, the underlying cards, and the inner strength and outer drive intended, harnessing her light, all 11 cylinders, sealed indoors to kind of compress it and channel that energy into something big. The Fool surrounds the horn in circular form, creating an energetic loop or doorway of 0-point field, the dragonfly nearby, which is the 2 hearts as one, as the 6 of water with a tummy ache, filling the gap between the rock and a hard place, reflecting emotion but not feeling it fully, reminding her to get in it completely. She's no placeholder or separator, scalloped shells on either side, and pearl appearing to be many pearls getting loose, and spirits connecting with me. Unable to catch those pearls of wisdom due to eating too much candy, right? Or the 4 of fire home again, only the flute this time, instead of the horn, with pink and ivory wings and lanterns above, sitting on a rock with a perfect hole in the middle, like a free-form square washer made of stone. The Georgia Guidestones could be coming up there too. I might be driving by there. Well, we'll see. But 749 is the Chariot and the 49 of the 9 of Cups. Perhaps this stone is big enough for her to sit on top of, with a few hieroglyphs or hieroglyphics and peachy back glow. So here's that energy of the peachy moon. She seems to be growing up again, but this time only 8 candles in a crown on her head, with a spiteful look on her face for being the candle holder all that time for another to make wishes from. The messenger of fire needed to get her in the water playing with all the beautiful fish who are arcing around her. Now a platinum blonde mermaid sort, but yet not, because she has legs. Just happy she just jumped in after waiting so long with uncomfortable solar plexus. Now she sits upon and blossomed white yellow rose, the one I just planted on Thursday that just got eaten. I wrote this before it got eaten. And the one I just planted on Thursday, the Seven of Water, seeing synchronicities and all her options, no longer confused, just enjoying the variety show. You know, basically of all that glitters is gold. So the energy from these cards was her getting younger and younger as she gets more inspired by her inner child. And then as soon as she goes back into that resentment energy, she ages again. But then finding another way to jump into the water and become that mermaid again. So it was very interesting the way those energies are coming up. So let's see here. So I have one more Nature Whispers read, and then we're going to get to the big read here. Let's see if I can find that other one. I have to show you this too. So this card came up from the Good Tarot, and look at this swirl. See how the swirl kind of looks like an ES together, the swirl on her dress? I almost forgot to tell you who I met the other day. So the reason why I'm showing you that swirl is because I met a little guy in my basement the day before yesterday. And because they were down there and I was worried about them, I went back down again, and I had a little Christmas tree down there, and it had been knocked over, which it wasn't when I was down there just the moment before. And because the tree got knocked over, I remembered these ornaments I made for the tree, and they were my initials and my kids' initials, and that card came up, literally, was the ornament that I had made for myself, which was the E here. Here's the E and the S, which looks like that swirl in the picture. I just want to show you how like they're immediately coming up. So there's that same kind of swirl that was in this picture of the ES. Just saying. So like the reason why I experienced that was because they wanted me to remember what I had made, what I'd created. And now I have to show you who I met that day. Like the cutest little guy ever. All right. This is who I met. I'm talking the size of a walnut. The cutest little guy. Now, I was bringing my laundry upstairs, and I saw, it was dark in this office downstairs, and I saw this little dark thing on the carpet, and I thought it might be a little baby mouse, but I wasn't sure. I thought, was it just like, you know, something from, because, you know, I've been having a lot of work done lately, so I thought maybe someone just left a piece of wood there or something. So, but I had the laundry in my hand. So I went upstairs thinking they wouldn't be there when I got back because they were probably scared of me because I'd said something. I said, "Are you a little mouse?" I went upstairs. When I came back, they were still sitting there. So like I literally reached out to this little baby mouse, right? We had this little conversation here. Look how cute he is. So cute. And he folded his hands over each other like this. It was so cute. He was so cute. And then it was so funny because look at him. He zipped away. When I moved away, he finally kind of took off. He took off around this pile that I had over on this side here. He went around the back and hid behind this door. And then he, so funny running. Look at him. So cute. I had to show you that because it was so cute. So I met this one here who knocked down my Christmas tree so I would find these things I had created again. So again, the card's exactly aligning with what the energy I'm experiencing. So then we have this. So this was the read that came up next. This Nature's Whispers. And again, I use the Good Tarot again here. Okay, so we have the underlying energy here, and this is the Nature's Whispers, and then the Good Tarot underlying energy here with the way they came out for this read. Let's see if I can get them closer up so you can actually see the cards. See the little girl in the pond making ripples? That was one of the cards that came out before. All right. So trust your own understanding was coming up here. And the underlying energies, which is number 32, and beneath that was intuition 36. And then in the Good Tarot was the Page of Earth, and then the 8 of Air below that. And it was interesting too, because I was getting my my stepson there. The picture of him looked just like him. And that energy of that bathing cap on, again, someone might be using a bathing cap, or somebody might be decorating a cap for something with flowers or whatever it is. But all aglow on the ground, the animals her friends in the water, and up above looking down, flying with Big Bird, which comes up in the Metatron deck as the Queen of Swords. Flying with Big Bird and the butterflies, or the little big birds, and she in line with all the planets, which came up after this read, that the planets were aligning, and the mask only at the ball, hovering over the islands. And then Mao Zedong was coming up again here too. Or the mountainous islands, hovering over the mountainous islands in the clouds by Venus, or the Earth's moon, or Mercury perhaps. It could be also the mothership that's hanging out with the smaller mini ships that come out of it after the plate. Oh, the pirate ship. I'm missing a letter there. After the pirate ship was sent off. So it was coming up as the Galactic Federation and the Confederation, the mothership that came in recently, are reassuring us that the negative ships, the pirate ships, have been sent away. And here's the mothership with the smaller mini ships coming out to check on things, make sure everything's okay. The water down below is a beautiful, clear blue-green color. And yes, it may be at the moon here that they're hanging out just before the new moon to make sure we're okay. So that all is cleared out. And then Mao Zedong was coming up in the underlying energy here again as the King of Wands Leo, as the angel wings bent out of shape and dropping feathers from the clouds as a hint, a warning to those down below. And this may be Mao Zedong infiltrating by being born again, so I'm not sure how old he would be. But the Page of Pentacles, the dear one, fairy and shaman boy, with golf club fashioned into something else, or a mega wand, or a mini drum, or gold coin with a very long handle. He sees an opportunity here, perhaps a mark, perhaps. The etheric gatekeepers, directly connected to those groundskeepers. After the divine feminine break, back on duty up in the air, leaving the divine masculines back on the ground. The innocent ones at 314, which is Pi, and Pi Day. It's also Pisces. Perhaps Pisces and Pi coming up here as the number 1 card here, the little girl, again causing those ripples again, amplifying her positive emotions. Her old, wise, true friends, or tree friends, looking after her. You know, like those talking trees where the trunk is like those wise old men. It's like she's there with her friends, the trees. She's looking for her seahorse, who might be that Pegasus flirting with or being fed by the seashell lady in the coral reef below, off the Florida Keys perhaps. Self-love, spiritual love, and new love here. Be in service as the little girl changes to blue and pink dress instead of with her wings in her little outfit. Now she's in a regular blue pink dress like a human without wings, to flirt with her unicorn horse instead by the orange flowers. And again, relating to the flowers again. And that could be buying flowers as well. Orange flowers. And I actually bought orange flowers at the grocery store. So that was interesting, the marigolds. So she is now on land and he at sea, where before she was going in to look for the seahorse, but since he was occupied doing something else, instead of getting sad about it, she just got out of the water and decided to play with her unicorn instead as a human little girl. She, the 46 of that innocent, loving child energy of the children loving each other, and very Pisces energy, in the purple moon with gratitude and appreciation at 322, the Empress and the Fool's Journey, or the Mother and the Fool's Journey. The girls frolicking and watching out for each other as the Page of Pentacles little boy with a messenger, or the Knight of Fire, fiery red, she wearing 8 candles here. She is the 9th and looks annoyed here. So she's wearing a crown of 8 candles, and it's coming up, she's the 9th candle, like she's kind of on fire here. She looks annoyed though, it's not a positive energy. She may be annoyed with a buck or big mark, offering something to the King of Swords Libra, or he with fame and the hand of justice, or he with the feminine hand of justice. There could be a feminine energy there, and alignment, or very heavy ring and command of her sword, and ES or swirling ornament down the middle, or justice, may also be a royal platform, support, or shelf. So, and this also could be a half round or half moon here at 329, which is being present in the moment, or being, you know, being present to your gifts. Or half of pie, which is the circle with the line down the middle. It's like having half of the pie or a half moon. The indigo angel, or under the sea with lots of options, fish or scallop. A round for mermaid, now with legs. Seeing synchronicities in heaven in her eyes, under the water, or deep in positive emotions as the Fool serenades her at 333, and the 7th trumpeter at 0 point in circular motion. The little girl fairy and the little boy fairy aligned. She looked for the seahorse who was under a rock with the shell lady or snail, and so little girl just redirected and got out of the water to be human with unicorn friend instead. The little boy fairy just has a bit more to go through than she does at 336. The fiery girl with attitude, the buck, the King of Swords intellectual, justice, or 2 very different girls, and the Fool's call to justice, the mermaid, and Ariel, to come home on the clarion call back to 0 point field of dreams, angels in the outfield, build it and he will come. So basically it was saying the masculine just has more to finish up than the feminine. So that they were the same, it's just he's got a little bit more to go than she does. At 340, which is the Empress and the 40 of the Page of Cups, or the Emperor and the Empress and the Emperor with source energy backing them up. Be positive to neutralize one in a bad mood. Be of service to the buck or those with antlers. Give a cuddle to those a bit cold, in truth but not love, and enjoy time under the water on the Fool's Journey, as the number 7 and the F came up as the same script letter in this deck. And it's coming up as 7F, but that F is this reflection of 7 if they just took out the polarized lines on the F, the key and the right angle, or the perspective of the 0 point field. Phew. And I'm getting very hot. By the way, my air conditioner, it's still pushing out a little bit of air, but it's not really working. And the magnificent Moulins were coming up. The Disappearance at Clifton Hill was the movie that came up, which was a really, I don't want to tell you the twist, because there's definitely some twists that go throughout that movie, so it's kind of interesting there. But again, you may be seeing something that is not actually the truth. And you may be assuming just because they're rich and powerful that they've done something wrong. So, yeah, be careful about that. So now we're going to go back to the twin flame read that's on the table. And here is the, this is the main read, which is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. You see the Queen of Wands right in the middle there, and the King of Pentacles at the end. And then here is the full 7-deck read that you see. Okay, so it's 1:11 on the clock right now and 1:19:44 here, which is the Magician, the Sun, and the grounding, integrating, and mastering of how to receive love. And this SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 7:07. So there's those 2 sevens, the 2 chariots, or the 70, which is the 2 of Pentacles, and juggling or performing as the Chariot, which is the feminine within the masculine, ascending. And then at 7:20, which is the 7 of the Chariot and the 20 of Judgment, or that wake-up call, the stir of crystals came up here, with crystals as being Christ-like or purging as well, the crystals, the stir of crystals here. And I finished at 7:33, which is the Chariot and the Christ vibration, that 7 of Wands, standing up for oneself. And the major arcana, which came up as the Chariot, the Strength card, Indigo, which is the Magician, and the Shadow, which is the Devil. And then before the read was the Starseed, or the Fool, and Reflection, which is the Hermit. There was 1 wand, 2 swords, 3 cups, and 1 pentacle. And we're at 1:20:50 just now. The wake-up call to that complete emotional fulfillment of the 50, which we talked about, and that tree being 50 years old, or 70 years old actually. And 7:33. And 7:20. So these 7s coming up. So right above this, 6:06 came up, so June 6th may be coming up, as well as 7:7, because those are the 2 portal dates, right? 6:6 and 7:7, but also 7:2 may be coming up, as well as 7:20, and 7:33, which then would be August 2nd, because there's 31 days in July. All right, so there was 1 wand, 2 swords, 3 cups, and 1 pentacle in the read, which is 12 and 31, which is the Hanging Man, and again, that chaos energy of life and the sun, and, you know, taming that energy, that pursuit of happiness, and the 12 of the Hanged Man, seeing new perspectives. And the only court cards that were in the read are the 2 I pointed out to you, the Queen of Wands in the middle and the King of Pentacles at the end. Before the read was the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Wands. And after the read, the Page of Cups came up with the King of Wands. So there were 3 pages here and 3 kings and 1 queen in the middle. So 2, 3, 4, shut the door came up here as very significant, as well as 3 10s. Keep that vibration really high here with the 3 10s. And the 3 10s is also telling you the end of the cycle, right? Because you just need that 4th 10 to close out the cycle. We also have here 46, which is the 6 of Cups, the loving children, inner and outer children, the 68 in a lesser sense, which is that Page of Pentacles, manifesting something new, or the student, or opportunity, or invitation. And then 810, which is that 0 behind the 81, of the end of karma around the world and being supported by source energy. The code line was all about change, and the numbers came up to 117, but also 107. There's a lot of 7s here and 1. So 707, 72, 7 3s, as well as 107 and 117 came up here, and change. So the way the code line was interpreted here, the masters came up, mastering of sudden events, so saying that you've mastered that. Also 10-3 was coming up as a CB code. I looked that up. Was stop transmitting, shut up. I love that. So actually I noticed 10-4 this morning before I did the video. So 10-4's message received, 10-3 is shut up. So mastering sudden events with the code to shut up. The Sophia union with the 4 of Swords, which is that 5D connection. It's also sleep and break and rest. That I, the moral man, change. It's the moral man is toggling up, like they're manning up. I, moral man, am manning up and changing. And really high vibration here. Also Missy coming up, as well as Miss or Ms. In high vibe Empress with Sophia and Sagittarius, also union energies. In 5D, resting, connecting, or sleeping. And then I-10 interchange also coming up. as well as MS. So somebody might be getting their master's or Ms. in the C and C, which is seeing with your eyes, with the C of emotion in the ocean, and the C of the C, the Christ consciousness, or the unity consciousness, and the destiny of 3 South union, or 3S may be coming up for something that may mean something to you. But again, coming up on break, that can be the Empress or a mother or a boss energy, South, Union, or Sagittarius on break. 5D connection at rest, to eat, to exist, to sleep, to be oneself, to water the throat, to make sure that you drink, right, when you get parched, and be light as a feather. The Mary Sophia energy, and sudden events, epiphanies, or sexual exchange, and shutting up and doing it instead of worrying about it. Just shut up. Somebody might actually be saying, just shut up and do it. To be oneself, to water your throat or drink, be light as a feather, and change. Allow the changes. Changing and face the strain. So to give birth to a child or a manuscript, or giving birth to gratitude suddenly. Space situated awareness guide, to rest oneself up and change. To give birth to all these things. The child seeing the destined 3s or trinities, or ash, which is bright light. To overtake or rush, become bold, succumbing to the load or the light, and taking a break, sleeping and resting in 5D connection to exist and just be, like allowing, instead of rushing or needing to do things, realizing, this is so ominous too. I forget what I wrote exactly, but right the month before I met my twin, I wrote something about, like a poetic, that I needed to slow down in order to go farther, like recognizing this when I wasn't really realizing what I was going to go through. And this was back in 2015, May of 2015, so we're matching May now to match May 15, 2015. Needing to slow down in order to go further. And again, I was watching Zach and his show on Netflix too about the centennials, which was interesting too. So again, there's that energy about how longevity and how to live longer. To give birth to the child, the manuscript, or gratitude suddenly, or the child seeing their destined 3s or their trinities or their empresses or mothers or bosses or bright lights, their guides, to overtake or rush, becoming bald or succumbing to the load, like doing too much, and needing to take a break, to sleep and rest, the 5D connect, to just exist. So teaching also the masculine how to just be still and exist instead of having to do so much. And I didn't sleep again, not last night, but I think it was the night before. I didn't sleep all night. It wasn't that night, it was the night before. So I think Friday night I didn't sleep. And then Saturday night I did sleep, but I had to go to the grocery store yesterday, so I just kind of took the day off again. So again, making sure to get enough sleep, and I got plenty of sleep. And then when I woke up, I did not want to get out of bed. I wanted to sleep more, but I had some things I wanted to take care of. So what came up too here, May 9th, 2022, the Memphis Avenue Bridge in Cleveland closed down. And we were just talking about that because that came up in Memphis, Tennessee, that the bridges were having issues. The other news article that came up was that from 8/2/2021, the Hernando de Soto Bridge, which is Route 40, but I think the bridge I took that looked like it had a bite chunk taken out of it was the 55 route bridge through the city. But Route 40 was reopened after down from May 11th. So by August it had reopened because they had fixed it. The Chariot energy is upright here in the underlying energy. So this bottom card is the Chariot with the mini cards on top. And below that is the Starseed, the King of Swords, the Page of Swords reversed, Reflection reversed, which is the Hermit, and the Page of Wands upright. The Starseed is the Fool energy. So the Fool is free with a download to the crown, as the King of Swords upright with negative talk and going crazy. With the Page of Wands upright, or kids or pets won't shut up in the car. In a big move or travel to the Queen of Pentacles reversed to set them free, or planning on railroading her to get themselves free, or taking separate cars because they don't want to listen to the others talk. Free from work to rise above, awake and defenseless to energies of receiving love from the one rejected, or vulnerable, or a child just trying to get their way. With Aries upright, Cancer upright, and Virgo reversed between here, the Fool reaping as the King of Wands upright checks things out down there, or wants to see what they're wearing before they leave the house. And that could be kids, wearing inappropriate things, or two out in the cold, or with injuries or ill, overslept, or needing to heed the call to action, defenseless to temptation, the Devil or Capricorn, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, community, dysfunction, or receiving attention, or good news about inequity, and that can be a loss as well in the family, or good news about inequity of the High Priestess reversed, secret passion, or lack of integrity and the need to use intuition, or Pisces reversed, exposed by injustice system, or Libra reversed, or secret passion exposing the injustice, and the hook in their third eye and being held over the sun, the Viking olive head, salt and pepper exposed, Libra reversed, or one after stepping down, or kids exposed all, Leo, or carrying the weight, with the centaur child, the pet, or Leo, between the High Priestess reversed and Justice reversed, or Pisces and Libra both reversed, or female judge who is exposed. Aquarius reversed, Capricorn upright, Justice reversed, Aquarius, Pisces, and Libra reversed, Capricorn and Leo upright here. The injustice of gossip, arousal, and whistleblowers about arousal, growth, inspiration, and new passion, creativity, or just turned on. Third party and caveman with Martin's shoes, or Barney's shoes. The group of bad influences called out for inspiring arousal, or a performance to raise spirits and perhaps a creative offer, or injustice couldn't come together because had to work to stay balanced to get new customers in at 8:58, which is strength and the Four of Swords of connection, or resting, sleep, and break, and past life relationship, and beneath that soulmate, new passion willing to burn the past and get over missing their flame, as the Queen of Wands upright is undressing in front of flame, the man seeing her with others and putting it all out there to touch in front of the little ones. There he goes again, sampling the merchandise, as Bunny and Dove look at each other, buying more boots just to take it all off again. So again, someone's spending too much money shopping to try to entice someone just to take their clothes off again. And again, obviously there's a difference in opinions about whether someone should buy these types of things. And then at 9:04, which is the Hermit and the Emperor, perhaps someone with a limp left hand and overactive right, touching butts with flame in other hand, and Bunny and Bird can't believe he doesn't see it. He needs to put their glasses or goggles back on before milking the goats, putting shoes on the log and leaving clothes on the floor, or trying to get his attention, but he's always distracted thinking of someone else. Libra and Virgo reversed here, and lots of fire, with abundance and the 88 of the twins, and beneath that the happy ending of the 93, which is a reflection of the 39, which is the Knight of Cups, of being love. By being love, you get your happy ending. Fighting, competing, or playing games, the Hierophant without peace and can't get their work done. Over it at night with Messenger of Truth, or delivery by Cancer, as wolves howl, and the wolves howl, and instead of dances with wolves, it's dances with crabs. So delivery by Cancer, and that can be something that comes in by Cancer season, as wolves howl and dances with crabs with fake lobster claws. Dark birds finally left at 9:12, the Hermit and the Hanging Man, seeing new perspectives. The Knight of Swords upright rushing back to the Chariot or Cancer with Libra in their chart, or wait for me, I can't keep up. as air sign in Cancer and the injustice of passionate offer from the Six of Wands with news and putting it all out there, the abundance of the 88 dance of the twin flames in need of strength, courage, and good health. At 9:14, again, the 9 of the Hermit and the 14 of that higher love of patience and balance and taking your time. The Page of Pentacles upright, looking at the Queen of Cups upright, but going back. The Queen of Cups is playing the wheel in a twist of fate or on tour of a plant. The Queen of Swords reversed may be patient in need of peace. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed, grounding, integrating, and mastering love at the home or saving for a new start, with the Knight of Pentacles offering to help to grieve with upside down world. Sagittarius upright, Virgo and Pisces reversed here at 10:14, which is then the Wheel of Fortune, and again the Temperance card of that higher love, and a painful death or ending here, or wouldn't get too close to the edge here, you could fall in. The recent past being the Strength card reversed, in need of courage to be around the Chariot and the Knight of Swords, both upright here, the Divine Feminine in the 5D with no peace until the end, without options, grieving loss and regret, and choked up in the downturn and deception with the Queen of Wands upright, or Aquarius, Libra, and Cancer all reversed here, and the Queen of Wands looking the other way. Post-war coming clean about shame and guilt, and the Page of Wands upright rising above the unhappy family due to their overtime and not working out. The Foundation is the Two of Cups reversed and disconnect or at a distance, present to a heated exchange while hanging out, unable to sleep or stressed out at home, trying to end the negative thoughts. At 10:23, which is destiny of the King of Wands, and the central energy of the Queen of Wands upright with bad influences around, in disconnect or at a distance, and released by fixing up the place or making amends with kids, pets, Leo, or taking a vacation, with the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Wands upright, perhaps the children, or tempted by codependency or Capricorn and fond memories, stories, or tempted by candy here, or kids with mixed messages on what's right and wrong, right? One parent doing one thing, another doing another, and then challenged by the Four of Swords reversed, Queen of Wands, unable to rest or go to the beach, with the King of Swords satisfied by the Queen of Cups upright and their offer of love. The King of Swords attempts with no reply, and the wounded warrior guarded at death. Or about Dark Night of the Soul, or Scorpio, Queen of Cups, who's satisfied with the King of Swords upright, but the King of Swords upright may be bored at 10:30, which is the destiny of the union or the home. The Nine of Pentacles reversed may be a dependent with the Empress upright, mother or Taurus, or not seeing eye to eye with their child, with the wounded warrior Scorpio here as well. The Grim Reaper may be a manly woman or feminine man, or the archer or plays violin, no longer tap dancing around the Emperor reversed, or Scorpio upright, no longer avoiding Aries reversed, or dealing with a death, like no longer avoiding that. The Empress is upright and the Empress is upright, the Empress reversed. They may have broken up or just not talking, as the Emperor reversed may be receiving love from imbalanced relationship and no options but to extend an olive branch. Unfair, they can't go out to eat, but willing to romance and sit on the fence, receiving dessert and sweet tweets, dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments, and burdened by stardom and getting their dreams coming true, and working hard to heal the imbalances, the inequity, the debt, and the scams of not sharing with others. And now here is the Ten of Swords upright, that painful ending, with Cancer upright and Leo reversed, or Leo weakened by the messenger of truth ascending, and the Queen of Wands ending pain or in a painful ending, or getting a massage if they can't go to the beach or go out to eat. Satisfied secret passion or Pisces reversed, in breaking up or without affection, or Gemini reversed, committed to dumping their emotional attachments, perhaps having a yard sale or spring cleaning perhaps, or suddenly all must go and getting rid of everything. Done. Feeling triumphant, and now something to say to the past. Like it's like someone like feeling really good and triumphing over getting rid of stuff that they were holding on to for so long, and then like now having something to say to the past and saying, so there. And Taurus or Gemini or Scorpio vengeance, or Taurus getting rid of somebody else's stuff. With Pisces reversed and Scorpio upright, Gemini reversed and Taurus upright here, the Empress may be using her sexual prowess to get the Knight of Pentacles to do her dirty work for her, and that can be a child as well, or someone who works for them. Withholding time, money, and effort while grieving a broken heart, perhaps spiteful due to the Knight of Pentacles with big love at work. The Magician reversed may be insecure or feeling unworthy of a sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, or Gemini or Virgo reversed with the Knight of Wands upright, and the injustice of or with Libra in chart, Capricorn upright, or inspecting every inch of their hostage, as the Knight of Wands with new information from the King of Cups upright, sending the Knight of Wands back quickly while the King of Cups gets the Knight of Pentacles to go forward or released to pursue their dream, with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords uncomfortable, being unable to walk away, being on the fence at the gate, showing him the way, no longer confused about Atlas and Bird taking off for the stars. And soon here is Indigo reversed, receiving good news, or being told to come on now and move along, being told it's time to leave. The Lovers out in the cold, with the Emperor reversed, coming clean to the King of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Pentacles with no choice but to separate or break their heart, or the Emperor reversed needs a cardiac cath, or homeless people being told to move elsewhere, right, to get out of their space at 10:55, destined to the truth here, to tell the truth. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Ten of Cups reversed, ending an emotional cycle of unhappiness that's so way over. The King of Wands upright looking out, and the Queen of Cups upright. He's looking at the Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is offering love elsewhere. The King of Wands upright between the Queen of Cups upright and the Knight of Cups, so he could be getting between them, trying to get to each other. So the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups trying to get to each other, but the King of Wands is between them. They may be looking in opposite directions, perhaps going the long way around to meet. The honeymoon worth waiting for, and trust and true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Three of Cups reversed, where 3 of 10 are separating off from the group, ending pain or in a painful end, or a pain in the ass. The Hermit reversed, losing their mind, or that can be a parent with dementia as well, or they could be coming out. Burdened by the Page of Pentacles, opportunity or invite, or a good student here with an offer to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community with issues, or a parent in a facility, with the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, all here, with the Hermit reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, third party coming out to end things once and for all, or get rid of bad influences. The block here is the Shadow upright and temptation. The King of Pentacles reversed, presenting the truth to the patient angel or Sagittarius, or from Capricorn to Sagittarius, with change, but even more so here, love and spirituality, as the Knight of Swords is cracking the whip with the kids, and the King of Cups is upright, or whipping them into shape. The King of Pentacles reversed, with the Ten of Cups reversed, family, or ending of a cycle post-war PTSD, or family who's all against them now, with the King of Pentacles reversed between the King and Queen of Cups upright, no longer confused about slaving for the Star or Aquarius upright here, or Star or Aquarius between the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups, with the Knight of Swords doing all the work for them, and the King of Pentacles reversed, not sharing the inequity and losses, and overworking or not working out, uncomfortable having to keep on them just to do their work, or the Star or Aquarius between the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords or the King of Cups they may be taking different sides. But it's like the King of Cups just goes to the side, whatever's convenient. They keep switching sides because whatever's easy, so they don't have to deal with conflict. Or the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles are sharing the responsibility of taking care of the King of Cups here, who could be a father. The King of Pentacles reversed may be overworked with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss. And the Page of Cups reversed may feel rejected or a vulnerable child, or perhaps spoiled and expecting attention all the time from the King of Wands, who's always out competing or doing sports or working out, fighting or playing or pursuing happiness or group endeavors as opposed to giving attention to a child. That could be a pet as well. The King of Pentacles reversed may be stuck with that Ten of Pentacles reversed responsibility, while the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, may be rejecting them or bringing good news to the King of Wands to play. A bomb dropped on the King of Swords upright and the Page of Swords reversed about a parent with dementia or Virgo coming out inspired to move or travel, without the Two of Cups reversed, the Ten of Cups reversed, and the Three of Cups reversed all in a row, in need of strength with the Queen of Wands upright, challenged by no rest, with Indigo reversed, Little Devil, perhaps a pain in the butt, with the King of Pentacles reversed, always working, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, with a vulnerable reputation to uphold as the King of Wands, man of passion, at 11:18, which is Justice and the Moon, or Libra and Cancer right there. So there's disconnect or distance between two, and then the family are all unhappy or ending of an emotional cycle, and then the Three of Cups again too, with bad influences or not coming together. So a lot of negative emotions there, and then freed by the King of Swords upright. The Page of Swords reversed going crazy, with the Page of Wands upright excited to drive or travel on vacation or move, or needing courage to be the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, when not seeing eye to eye with others and face that conflict, or when at a distance with the Queen of Wands in a painful ending, challenged by the nest or no beach, or rising above to end an emotional cycle, or family's unhappiness, with Indigo reversed, insecure or manipulative without the tools to deal with bad influences or conflicts or partiers, gossips, or no social life, and idle hands, and we all know what idle hands do, with the King of Pentacles reversed, overworked, with the Ten of Pentacles, family dysfunction, and the Page of Cups reversed, feeling rejected or sensitive with their emotions, and leading the way with attention and good reputation to or as the King of Wands, with no problem fighting for what he wants, at 10:25, which is Justice and the Knight of Wands. It's a very interesting combination of energies today. So let's pull just a quick energy card, because I want to get some other reads done today. Like I said, I'll try to get Cancer, Leo, and Virgo today, but at least 2 signs anyway. And then I'll get more done tomorrow. All right, so from the energy deck, what's our takeaway today? Oh, that came right up. The Angel of Love, the 49 of the Get Your Wish card, by being love. She's very much focused on her heart, and this is very much that energy of the Page of Cups. And then we have the Queen of Cups here too with the 38, and the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. So the healing of the heart and the physical organs may be coming up as well. So the physical body as opposed to the etheric body. And again, very much focusing on the heart energy here with the little ones and the mother energies, but this is also masculine energy in his Queen of Cups energy. So being in the feminine energy is all about the heart. And the healer of the ages, the King of Swords. Okay, so that's pretty clear. And there's the Sun and vacation. The Sun, the one is the magician as well, as the healer of the ages, is making magic for everyone, as the feminine energy is focusing on the heart, along with masculine energies, and that can be children as well. And again, maybe people are were just on journeys this weekend, or they're planning journeys for the summer on break, right? Going across the bridge and trying to figure out where they want to go, or just winging it on a journey here, and without masks, and being free. The bottom of the deck is the 23 of the King of Wands, and again, playing coy, like they're all tied up again. Whether this is a feminine or masculine energy, it's about playing coy or saying, I'm too busy to do something, and there may be children or other things calling for their attention, and they're not paying attention, saying they've been all tied up, but that's changing now. So the second chakra of the soul, this is the sacral chakra, and someone being bored, and again, the energy of the children with the weight of the world on their shoulders because they're not getting attention. So then either the grown-up acting coy or the children acting coy. This could be two different energies of two different children acting up because they're not getting the attention they'd like from this wonderful King of Cups energy, right? Who's all confident and solar plexus energy here. Someone who's supposed to be unconditionally loving, but maybe they're giving all their unconditional love to people at work while there may be two at home seeking their attention. So that could be now going on vacation, right? To finally spend some time with the kids. And again, these could represent kids, whether it's two girls or a boy and a girl. It could be two boys as well. But again, here's very much about the kids and the father here paying attention. So this could be vacation with the father and kids. It could be mother and kids on vacation as well. But again, it's about the journey. Somebody could be leaving home as well or moving home. That could all be coming up. So, and let me give you a gems card too. I'm going to be doing the gems deck with the signs, the gems and the Nature's Whispers deck. So for you guys, is there a general energy here that you need to know about? Take another deep breath. Came right up. So rhodochrosite. Be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and you need time to heal and recover. So just enjoy your time. You have topaz here too. Forgiveness heals. Time to release repressed anger, and it's blocking your health and happiness. So again, be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to just release all that anger, the liver energy, the joints energy that may be hurting. There may be a spiritual or religious community coming up with the angel light. Join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. So you may be running into a group. The bottom of the deck is aura. What am I getting from that? Aura. I'm getting Torah as well. Is that a movie or something? Torah? I can't remember. Healthy communication and relationships is the underlying energy. So we're going past this. The heart-to-heart discussions you've been having recently, and clear, assertive communication help you understand and be understood. So being very clear and clearing your aura as well. That's what we've been working on. And now these other energies coming up for you. The rhodochrosite, the topaz, and the angelite energies here. Very compassionate energies with the pinks and the gold. Very compassionate. So again, that's that triple tens. You're being called to be compassionate, not only with others, but with yourself. Okay? All right, gotta go. I gotta do Cancers next. So remember your water, plenty of water, especially if it's hot like it is here today. It feels a bit humid. Your water, your rest as much as you can. You can definitely get a lot of healing while you have long stretches of rest, and plus it's 1:44 on the clock, and your joy in your nature, but also intermittent fasts. So when you sleep late, it helps you fast, so you don't have to eat till the afternoon. You can get a good long spurt of fasting. Okay, guys, love you guys. Have an amazing day, an amazing summer. I'll be back soon. So rise and be love and rise. See you guys. Bye.